Mr. Speaker, in 2013, the MD of Willow Creek entered into a pilot project with AHS to provide emergency ambulance service in southern Alberta due to inadequate coverage, the non-emergency inter-facility transfer issue, and the ambulance flexing problems from region to region. To restore service, the municipality purchased 3 ambulance units. However, 7 weeks ago, the Executive Director of EMS suddenly decommissioned these units, rendering them useless. To the Health Minister, will you take control of this bureaucratic disaster and restore the authorization of these crucial emergency units today?
Minister of Health.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the member for the question. We certainly want to make sure that no matter where you live in Alberta, you get the right care in the right place at the right time by the right health professional. And that, of course, includes having confidence that you've got adequate emergency response services in your own community. And that's why certainly Alberta Health Services, one of their key priorities is making sure that that is a driving value moving forward. I've certainly been holding them to high account on that regard and look forward to collaborating with the honourable member. In terms of the specific community that he refers to, I have received some information about the matter, and I'll be happy to follow up with him offline.
Honourable member, through the Speaker, honourable member.
Well, Mr. Speaker, this has become an enormous safety concern for patients and their families in southern Alberta. Given rural ambulance service is a vital artery to getting patients into emergency care, and residents cannot trust this government and this faulty system, and given that, unlike AHS, the MD of Willow Creek recognized the desperate plight of local residents faced with unnecessary risk caused by this inadequate system, why is the minister punishing, not rewarding Willow Creek for picking up these pieces where her government failed?
Minister of Health.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I guess at this point in the discussion for today, it's going to be a spend day. Why won't you spend more money, Mr. Speaker, when we spend hours being told how we need to be cutting billions of dollars from frontline services that go towards supporting things exactly like EMS? So I have to say this is very surprising to me that today we're being asked to spend more money. We are, of course, in collaboration. Alberta Health Services receives an allocation from the Government of Alberta, and they are responsible for emergency medical services. I'll be happy to provide more details to the honourable member.
Through the Speaker, honourable member.
Well, Mr. Speaker, and the minister, they sent you a letter. They think they deserve explanation for their dedicated efforts.
Keep going.
Given the adjacent community on the blood reserve found themselves in similar circumstances due to AHS mismanagement and the lack of adequate service, but seeing as they were allowed to keep the emergency unit they purchased, whereas Willow Creeks remain in a storage facility collecting dust, will the minister and AHS stop bullying the MD of Willow Creek, exercise a little common sense, and reinstate the authority to utilize these units? They spent the money. They are the ones that are making the effort. Minister, you're not.
Minister of Health.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the question and for the opportunity to clarify to everyone that it doesn't matter where you live. You deserve to have access to the right care in the right place at the right time by the right professional. And we do this in consultation with communities throughout the province. I actually met yesterday with 2 different municipalities to talk about their concerns and with members of the Honourable Member's Own Caucus to discuss some of the issues there. We're working to make sure that we can maximize the opportunities for local communities to be met by local needs. So in terms of this specific situation, I'll be happy to follow up afterwards, Mr. Speaker.